Gilbert, how concerning are the Texans' struggles offensively? And I asked that because yesterday, CJ Stroud, 10 of 21, 86 yards. The only thing that kept him afloat was Mixon, 25 carries, 115, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love, 24 of 33, 223 touchdowns, 2 picks. How concerning is that in both games that the Texans have gone to the NFC, CJ Stroud and that offense have struggled.
Very concerning. I'll even throw in
the other
Bears
one was the
game.
one against the Vikings, by the way. So
yeah, and they almost lost to the Bears. Maybe not almost, but that game was so ugly and sluggish against the Bears. But they won that game. But that game really pissed me off because D'Amico Ryan played it way too safe. He sat on the ball. It's like your offense has done crap. And then you're looking at the clock and you're trying to burn time when it's 3 minutes to go, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. They have 3 timeouts and 2-minute warning. The second you get across the 30-yard line on the Packers side, you think you're going to win the game that way, sitting on the ball. And he's over there trying to telling the media, "Oh no, we were going for a touchdown. We're playing to go all the way." I'm like, "Yeah, right. You had back-to-back calls for Joe Mixon, unless you're not the one giving the green light to Bobby Slowik in late game situation. At that point, this guy is so conservative. You need to step in and tell the guy, what the hell are you doing here? Because those back-to-back Joe Mixon runs, they did nothing. He was going to fall. I felt like at one point he's going to fall and sit down. Okay, cool, let's go for the field goal. You left Jordan Love a minute and 40 seconds to get a field goal. It's not that hard to get a field goal for a guy of that caliber. So when you play with fire, when you play scared, when you play not to lose, you're going to lose probably 8 times out of 10. So that's what they get, the Miko Ryans and the Texans. But overall, his offense has not been very good. And the weird thing, Fernando, Bobby Slowik last year didn't have a running game. He didn't have Joe Mixon. Now that he has a running back, he's like, oh, crap, I didn't get to enjoy a running back last year. Let me keep giving it to Joe Mixon. It's good. You're productive rushing attack. You have no vertical game. You have no passing game. And I don't want to hear about Nico Collins being out. When Nico Collins was in, they didn't do anything against the Vikings. They didn't really do much against the Bears. So in a way, Bobby Slowik is kind of putting the handcuffs on CJ Stroud. Another reason I got pissed off, why are you acting like Jordan Love's the best quarterback on the field? You have CJ Stroud. Let him throw the ball down the field. Where the hell is Tank Dell? He got shut out. Where the hell is Stephon Diggs? He had like 2 catches for something. So that passing game is broken. They're only this good because they have Joe Mixon and Nico Collins. Other than that, you're not really doing much. I get the defense makes plays every now and then. Will Anderson Jr. is very good. But D'Amico Ryans, you're too conservative. That's kind of the downside for being a defensive-minded coach. And step in with Bobby Slowik. Like, what are you doing running the football, 70% of the time when you have CJ Stroud? So, yes, I'm very concerned. And like you mentioned, Fernando, I wanted to put the Texans in the tier with the Chiefs and the Ravens. But it's maybe the Chiefs by himself, Ravens by himself, and then the Texans and the Bills are somewhere tied there after that. But this offense is broken right now. I'm worried about them. And real quick on the Packers side, Fernando, if you're doing like power rankings overall, like they might be a top 5 team. Like they have a very good defense, a very good offense. But the one thing that scares me about that team is a reason why I think they're so good. Jordan Love is so damn good, but he has a turnover problem. He makes so many damn mistakes where he had two interceptions, by the way. They would have got blown out yesterday, the Texans, that is, if it wasn't for 16 points off of turnovers, 2 of them being a Love interception. So if he figures that out, they're going to be for sure a real threat. But that's the end of my Texans rant.
I agree with you. I'm very concerned about the Texans. I just don't feel like I don't feel like the Texans. I feel like they can beat up on the weaker teams, but it's Jordan Love is a yellow quarterback. But I just don't like them going up against the top teams. I feel like they still have some growing to do. Yeah. And that's kind of my questions when it comes to the Texans. It's when they go up against these big time teams. The Colts are right there, and the Colts I think are making a mistake going with AR5 instead of Joe Flacco. But I do believe that I still think that the Texans are good. I just don't know if they're great. I don't know if they're the team that can take down the Chiefs or the Ravens or even the Bills. I know they did a couple of weeks ago, but now with Amari Cooper in the mix, I'm wondering what happens there. But I'd be concerned if I'm the Texans. If it wasn't for that running game, they would have had no offense whatsoever. So yeah, I don't know what Bobby Slowik needs to do, but he needs to change some stuff up. If not, this is going to continue happening against some of the top teams in the NFL. And like I said, Stephon Diggs is still there. He's still all good and this and that. But if this continues, there's going to be some problems in the
You got
locker room.
into a little skirmish before the game too.
I did notice that. I don't know what all that was about, but did they say what it was about?
Supposedly he still has a grudge from his Vikings days going against Jair Alexander.